So let's stay on 562 for a little bit here, because for anyone not in the know, or this is so SB 562 was the single payer bill here in California. The Nurses Association brought it up. They were told by the powers that be, hey, this is what the bill needs. They followed those rules, and then Anthony Rendon said, oh wait, this doesn't have this, this, and this. We are tabling this. And tough apples. And that was the extent of it. So now it's just kind of sitting there. They're refusing to help. They're just saying this bill's done. That's a very Cliff Notes version of it all. Of course, there's more than that, but for the sake of time, that's the Cliff Notes version. And for those of you that are non-Californians, this is still important because if a state like California got single payer done, it would spread across the country. So Gayle, as Lieutenant Governor, what kind of strategies could kind of bring SB 562? And I know we're kind of speaking generally at this point, but are there any kind of strategies that can kind of bring SB 562 back into the spotlight?
Right. Yes, Ron. So, what you're saying is very true. There's been so much of a surge to pass single payer Medicare for all, which is 562 here in California. And when Anthony Rendon, the Speaker of the Assembly, when it came into his hands, instead of letting it be discussed on the floor like all bills should be, no bill is, or seldom are bills in complete form when they're discussed. Their amendments are made, little tweaks here and there before they finally get passed. But he chose to just put it on the shelf and not even let it be discussed. And that was a real injustice. So, many of us, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say there's video footage of him hinting at the fact that he didn't even read the thing.
Right.
Like there's video footage where it's like, it's not even clear he read this. You know what is clear, though? All the big pharma money he gets. That's something we know for sure.
Absolutely, Ron. He gets lots of big pharma money, lots of insurance company money. And that's what forced him. That's what, what influenced him to set it aside. So people have demonstrated, people have held marches and rallies. I marched and rallied in front of his office with many groups in LA and said, put it back on the table. Now that hasn't happened, obviously. So what do we do from here? That's the question. So I have heard some people say that maybe we should bring forward a new bill, with some of the things that people are complaining about, or a revised 562. Now, the fact is that there was a financial plan associated with 562, and they want to say there wasn't enough of a financial plan. There actually was, but maybe we could put it in a more, clear and, just put it in the forefront of the bill, so it's very clear that there is a financial plan, and it still will need to be discussed and perhaps amended and such. So I've heard people say we need to amend it first, then bring it back. Others say we just should keep pushing to get this same bill back on the floor. So I'm just knowing that we need something along the lines that has come forward by the way of SB 562, and I'll push like crazy to make sure that we get something there.
Well, it's interesting. The economic argument, even if they did absolutely nothing, to my understanding, even if they did absolutely nothing, which, yes, there's still more that they could do. There's still more tweakage that could be done from an economic standpoint to make it as feasible as possible. But even if they did absolutely nothing, we would still be paying less in a GDP sense on healthcare than we pay now. So when they throw that number at you, it's just nothing but propaganda, because when you look at it from a percentage standpoint, we would still be paying less. So it's almost like saying, oh man, hey, you have a car bill that's currently $300 a month. Here's a car bill that's $200 a month. And what they're telling you is like, we can't afford another $200 a month. Neglecting to say we wouldn't be paying the $300 a month one anymore. We wouldn't be paying that one anymore. That one goes away. That one goes away.
Right. They really do misinform the public, and they.
Gayle, I suck at math. I am not good at it. I didn't even take math my senior year of high school because I could get out of it. And in college, I took the one required thing I had to do. I hate doing my taxes. I don't keep good records. I put my receipts away until the end of the year. I am not a math dude. But even
you get this.
I can figure that one out. So it's not that they don't get it. It's that they're choosing not to tell you the story.
That's the full truth of the matter. Yeah. So it's the fact that, you know, people would not have to pay premiums. They would not have to pay co-pays, would not have to pay deductibles. All this is something that has to be factored in. You know, we are in a situation now that, you know, in Richmond, for example, 20% of our residents don't have health insurance because they can't afford it. So when we put forward this, you know, this policy that we all want, Medicare for all, that has to always be said. So thank you for saying that. It is far cheaper. It is far more efficient and, you know, economically efficient for our communities. Now, if it, to get it started, if it needs a little startup money to get it off the ground, well, you know, California is the 5th largest economy in the world. You know?
Yes.
And if we can afford to, you know, really give all these tax breaks to corporations and, you know, in general, just, you know, not, you know, if corporations paid their fair share of taxes, let's face it, we'd have a whole lot more money. With Prop 13 reform, for example, closing the corporate loophole, we'd have $11 billion in additional taxes in the state coffers. So we have the money. We have the money, and we can put it in the right places. And just getting some startup for Medicare for all is not really a problem at all. And so, you know, we just have to keep putting that out there. And as you say, you know, it is a cheaper system. It is a more efficient system. And more than that, it's a human right to have health care for everyone. And right now, health care is being dealt with as a commodity. And that is not the way to have a humane society. So we have to just keep pushing the envelope on that.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.